I'm Malcolm Lockey. I'm the company chairman of 54 North Maritime Training, and the role that I have within the company is to work with directors on the strategic management of the company. I'm a priest. I'm also by training, way back, I'm an educationist. So I was a teacher, a university lecturer, an inspector of schools, but I was also a priest. And being a priest has taken me into all kinds of areas. I was an RAF chaplain for a while. I've worked in parishes, and when I first came to Whitby, I had 2 parishes along the Esk Valley, but I was also what they call port missioner, in that I ran the Mission to Seafarers building in Whitby, and I had the privilege of working alongside the fishing community in Whitby and getting to know them. Training, I think, for anything, any industry, any organisation, any business is fundamental. It's impossible to put somebody into an environment and expect them to function properly without some kind of training. And training for a field as complex as fishing is absolutely essential if they're going to be safe, and they're going to be safe with their colleagues as part of a crew. We came into being as a company 23 years ago because, talking with members of the fishing community in Whitby, one of the problems that they were facing at the time was the fact that they did not have sufficient trained crew. They were sailing short-handed. And so I set about talking with a multi-agency committee to see what we might be able to do with that. And we found it was possible to begin to create an apprenticeship that would match industry needs. And so that's what we set about doing. And in 2002, we came into being as a company that recruited from all across the country, men and women, to begin to train over a period of time, extended period of time, to equip them to serve on vessels as safe and competent crew. 54 North came into being because of our discussions with industry. And we've tried to serve the industry and be shaped by the industry throughout our existence so far. So in the last 4 or 5 weeks, we've had a very useful seminar with industry leaders, UK Fisheries and 1 or 2 other organisations and companies, where we talked about what we are trying to do as a company, but also trying to ascertain exactly what their needs and requirements are, because they will change over a period of time, and we've got to match and reflect those needs that industry have. So we offer a diploma course in fishing, which will replace the apprenticeship course, because government removed the statute which allowed us to run an apprenticeship. So we offer a diploma course, the only provider in the country to do so. We also offer a whole raft of courses that are professional development courses for serving fishermen, so that they can enhance their skills and go from being an effective deckhand to being a skipper of a vessel. And that's what we've done over our time. The greatest cohort we've had has been 41 students in training at any one time. With COVID and with the kind of pressures that the industry has been under in recent years, our numbers have declined. I'm pleased to say that with the appointment of a new training coordinator that we appointed in October, our numbers are increasing again, and we're up to 12 for this summer that we hope to begin training with. Funding comes through the Department for Education for our diploma course, and we get a reasonable amount of money. It hasn't increased very much in recent years, and we're in negotiations at the moment with Department for Education on increasing the grant we get per student. We also get funding for our in-service courses from the Seafish Industry Authority, who will fund particular serving fishermen to come and enhance their knowledge, skills, qualifications. We also offer, because we were asked to, a workboat course for apprentices from the workboat industry, and that attracts an amount of funding as well from Department for Education. UK Fisheries have been a great supporter of the 54 North I'm delighted to say that we have a renewed dialogue with UK fisheries. UK fisheries have in the past invested some money into the work of 54 North, because I think that they see that investing in training is investing in their own future. It's a very exciting time for us because we see ourselves now in a position of working in three directions that are just emerging. One is to maintain our provision of training for those going into the fishing industry. We also have a role to play in influencing the hearts and minds of young people. Now, when they leave school, their attitudes are already fixed, they're already set. We are beginning to do some curriculum development work to take into schools, particularly in the coastal communities initially, and then further inland, which will take them from early years, from primary right through to secondary, which will be cross-curricular, but it will be looking at maritime skills, opportunities as possible career paths, so that by the time they leave school, they're not beginning to think about a career. That might already be in their mind because of the work that we're doing with them. So that's an exciting area that we hope to develop further. The other very exciting area is that we're in discussion with Newcastle University at the moment, and they are talking with us about the possibility of taking those who are doing maritime-related courses in marine biology or whatever, and placing them with us for, say, 6 months as part of a sandwich course to get some practical hands-on training with our fishing skippers, our boats, actually working with and working alongside our initial trainees to get a practical understanding of the issues facing the industry so that they're better informed when they come out of university with their degree and go into whatever branch of maritime work that they do. A lot of our trainees come to us with fairly limited educational backgrounds. They may be school refusers, they may not have achieved very much academically, they may look for a different way of learning, and there are different kinds of patterns and methods of learning. So quite a lot of our cohort come with very modest academic backgrounds. Part of our responsibility to Department for Education is that we have to get them through GCSE maths and English if they're below the age of 19. And a significant cohort of our youngsters are in that age bracket. And we are given a very short space of time within the year that they're with us on the diploma course to get them through that. So we appoint specialist tutors to come in and work with them over a very, very narrow window of about 3 weeks in order to try and do the remedial work that should have been done years before. Now we're looking at the possibility of obtaining funding to appoint a teacher specifically for maths and English, but also to begin to develop functional skills courses that will be applicable to our other young people, where the maths and the English will be related directly to their practical learning and not just confined to a GCSE syllabus.